What's up, everyone? Jake here from Wake and Jake TV, and today we have a special guest, Jonibek Khotamov.
How you doing, guys?
Who actually just won his first pro fight.
Yes, sir. In 1 minute, first round, first minute, it was done deal.
Now, I remember like 10 years ago, I told him, I'm like, yo, Jonibek, bro, you got the moves, you do boxing. When are you gonna go pro? Let me be your promoter so we can start breaking bread. And I got my episode in after his first pro fight.
First of many.
First of many. So let me ask you, so let's start off with a couple people that want to learn some more about you. Because obviously you have a good workout ethic, you train all the time, you know. So what got you into boxing, and at what age did you figure out that this is what you wanted to do? Because obviously you've been doing this for a minute.
Well, I've been training ever since I was a little kid back in Uzbekistan, but when I came to America in 2008, I was a very bad kid. I used to fight in the streets a lot, so Teddy Atlas, who's a former trainer of Mike Tyson, and he's one of the biggest trainers out there. He came to my middle school, and the teachers pointed me out as a bad kid, so he took me into this gym, Housing Kids. It's a free program for kids and to get them off the streets. So I started off here. You could see we're in this gym ever since. Yes.
So now, is there a certain age when someone can start to learn how to box?
Well, you can learn boxing at any age, but the right time to start is maybe around 12, 13.
12, 13.
12 or 13, but anytime if you start at 20, 21-year-olds, there's a lot of champions who started at the age of 20 who stepped in the gym.
So you could start at 20 and still be champion?
Yeah, of course. There's fighters like Tyron Farmer and all these other fighters. Like if I could think about it, there's a lot of fighters who start off at the age of 20, 21, and they became world champions.
So let me ask you, so let's say you get older, you're already 30, 40 years old. Does it obviously affects your performance?
Of course.
Or do you get better?
The thing is, it affects your performance because that's the age you start, your body starts wearing off, your metabolism slows down, and you can't really keep up with the, what's it called, the stamina. The stamina goes even lower, That's why
you get fatigue faster.
Yeah, that's the age where you slow down. After 35, you slow down. So 30 is the best age, but after that, that's it. Yeah.
So now, for someone who wants to start to learn how to box, what's the best way to train for boxing? How often should they train? What workouts do you do? How do you maintain training?
Boxing involves a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work. It's a lot of toll on your body. It's considered one of the strongest and the hardest sports in the world.
Yeah.
Well, you have to keep discipline, such as you can't go out too much. You have to train twice a day. You have to run. You have to do your strength conditioning. You have to work on your stamina. You have to spar. You have to hit the bag. It's a lot of workouts,
Yeah.
So it's a lot of toll. It's a lot of things. So if you want to be dedicated, if you got time to be dedicated, and you have to stay in the gym. You know what I'm saying? If you want to box, you have to be dedicated.
So how about let's say someone who doesn't have a gym, they just want to work out at home. So let's say push-ups, sit-ups, crunches.
Right.
So what routine would you say for people that want to get started at home before they actually get to hit the bag and get in the ring and things like that?
Well, the best thing to do is start off by stretching and do some light push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups. That's where you start off to build your strength. And then you start off with the jabs. First you start off with the basics, 1, 2. You have to work on your footwork first, going forward, going backwards, using your jab while you step at the same time. So it's a step-by-step routine.
So something that I saw you do is that you went on the treadmill and were shadow boxing. That helps with your footwork?
Well, that helps with the timing of your, when you...
That's good.
When you're running, speeding, not running, but when you're walking and hitting, that helps you with your movement and your footwork. You become more slick and you time it real good, because when you're running, it's hard to do it.
Right.
Once you get that mastered, you're going to be great in the gym while sparring, while moving and hitting.
And especially on a treadmill, you don't have much of a choice. You got to keep moving.
Yeah, of course. You can't stop, because if you stop, you're going to hit your head.
So now let me ask you this. So what's your training regimen like on a day-to-day basis? Because you said, obviously, you hit the bag, you do the push-ups and things like that. So what is your go-to when you work out?
Well, first...
Professionally. To get yourself to the point where you can get in the ring and do 12 rounds, for example.
All right. That involves a lot of stamina right there. That involves... you can't just step in and fight for 12 rounds, because you have to go from the first 3 rounds. You have to go for 3 rounds first, then 4, then 5, then 6. You have to build your muscles and your strength up for that level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just jump in and expect to do 12 rounds. You got to go slowly.
So now let me ask you this. Throughout, obviously, you got to train every day. Sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you want to go out. You know, you have a life too.
Yeah, of course.
So how do you stay motivated to train on a day-to-day basis? How do you stay motivated? What keeps you going?
The thing that keeps you going is you have to remember where you started and how you were in the beginning. So if you think about the first step you took, the first day you stepped into the gym, and you compare that to the level of yourself right now, that's what you should motivate you. And you have to like look to the future. You can't just stay at this level and be like, okay, I'm done, I'm tired, da da da. Well, you could be tired in life, but you can't stop. You're almost there. You're almost reaching your goal.
But let me ask you this. Does it ever just get boring that you're just like, yo, I'm kind of over it? Like,
of course.
because I know you probably go through emotions too during this whole...
Of course. It gets boring, of course. Like, it's like eating the same meal every day.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You come into the gym, do the same thing every day, but you have to stay positive. You have to love it.
Right.
To do this sport, you have to love the sport. You have to enjoy it. You can't just like... It's not like a job where you could go and be like, I want to clock out already. You have to come in and enjoy it, you know? You have to come in and enjoy it and get out and be like, wow, today was a great day.
Yeah, you come out a better person. That's why it's good to have a support team. Definitely, for sure. So let me ask you this. So you're a pro fighter.
Yes.
For anyone that hasn't seen this fight, check it out.
Yeah, check it out. You could go on my Instagram. It's real Jonibek, real Jonibek on Instagram.
I'm gonna have that right there on the bottom of the screen right there.
Yes, sir.
Go follow him. So let me ask you this. You won your first pro fight in 1 minute, which means you definitely have a go-to punch. What's your favorite punch and why?
My favorite punch ever since...
Wait, before we continue, are you regular or southpaw?
I'm an orthodox boxer. So my favorite punch since I was a kid has been the overhand right.
Overhand right.
Yes, the overhand right. And the hooks, of course.
Can you give us an example of what it is?
Well, the overhand right is when you lean a little forward, sit on your legs, and you throw the punch straight from your jaw. Like you come down and from your jaw, you throw it down.
Got you.
That's the overhand right.
So the overhand right. That's a powerful punch.
Yeah, that's my favorite punch. And that's in my fight, that's the punch I got the guy with.
So that's the punch that won the fight for anyone that wants to know.
Yeah. That was the first punch that...
I told him don't give away any secrets, but a little tip for you guys. So the overhand right. So let me ask you this. Obviously, you're moving your elbows, your shoulders, your chest. You're taking hits. You're giving hits. How do you deal with the injuries? Because obviously you're gonna get injured here and there. You might have a cramp. I know you got to stretch beforehand. So how do you deal with the injuries that's associated with boxing?
Well, to deal with injuries, you have to take a rest. You have to take a couple days off to let your injury heal. But while your injury is healing, let's say if it's your knuckles, right? You can't use your knuckles. You can't use your left knuckle if it's your left knuckle injured. So you have to you could use your right knuckle. You have to run, keep in shape still, do these little punches, do a little running, do a little this and all that. But you have to take a rest. Ice it, do whatever you got to do to let it heal.
So
after a while, you get back to training.
So you ice it?
Yeah.
So you do like sauna and all that stuff?
I do sauna, steam rooms, and then I jump into the cold water, do an ice bath.
How often do you do that? On a weekly basis?
Ice bath on a weekly basis. I have to do it every week because if I don't, let's say intense workout every day, your body's gonna, it's gonna go through its hole. It gets
right. You do the muscle soreness and all that stuff. So you're saying that the ice
real quick.
So the ice definitely helps. So that's how you help with injuries.
Yeah, the ice recovers it. Let's say you go to the steam room, and right from the steam room you jump into the cold water. That just recovers it.
Gotcha. So how about boxing fracture? So you're saying you got to take time off. You have to recover. Otherwise, you're screwed.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you keep punching, obviously it's gonna get worse. You're not gonna be able to. You rather take off time than going and making it worse and having more time to take off.
That's a fact, and it's definitely just going to get worse from there. So now let me ask you this: if there was one piece of advice that you could tell people to help improve their technique in boxing, what would it be? I guess to give a harder punch or swifter punch.
Well, for you to give a swifter, faster, hard, stronger punch, you have to master the basics, like the one, twos, the jabs. You have to master every punch. You have to like do it the right way. Once you get those punches the right way, then you're gonna be able to work on speed. If you want to work on speed, you could use like little weights.
Yeah.
You train with the little weights. One round with the weights, one round without the weights. You get what I'm saying? That creates power. That to create power, you have to work with some strength and conditioning. Definitely.
Right.
Some weights. So weights involved helps a lot for
Gotcha.
speed and strength.
And obviously shadow boxing.
Shadow
So
boxing.
how long do you shadow box for?
Well, I shadow box from like 8 to 10 rounds every day when I come into the gym.
And how much is a round?
A round is 3 minutes, and the break is like 30 seconds. 30-second break.
And you just do circuits, different workouts and things like that.
Yeah. Once you're done with let's say you come into the gym, you stretch out, you do jump rope for like 15, 20 minutes, then you start shadow boxing. After that, you hit the bag, you do some mitts and pad work, and right after that, you do the speed bag, running if you want, and then stretching out, do some crunches, push-ups, pull-ups, and you're done. That's how it goes. But every day is a different day.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So now let me ask you, how do you cut weight for a fight? Because I know I see some people, they wrap themselves in 30,000 towels and they're just like mummified.
Well, that right there is a hard job.
Like, how do you?
It's not easy.
Yeah, you have to prepare for the
Yeah,
scale.
of course, because cutting weight is not just cutting weight. You have to like eat less. You have to cut starch out. You have to like just drink water. You have to eat the same thing sometimes every day. Well, if you do it the smart way, if you look at your nutrients, if you look at the calories you're taking in and the sodium, if you cut those out, you're gonna be great. You're gonna be doing good. But it's all in the mind. You could get hungry even when you're full. You get what I'm saying? So cutting weight is pretty hard, but once you master it, once you do it right, you take the right steps, and you start when it's not too late. Like let's say you start 3 weeks, 2 weeks before your fight, you're gonna be great. You're gonna do good.
So you got to do at least 2-3 weeks before the fight. You got to start cutting.
Yeah. You can't do it just a week before. Some fighters they kill themselves. Like some fighters, when there's a week left in their fight, they have like 10, 12 pounds, and that's just that takes off a lot of strength from you.
And if you don't make the scale, you don't cut weight, you're screwed.
If you don't make the scale, sometimes they take away 25% or 30% from your purse.
Damn.
You could just cancel the fight if the opponent doesn't want to fight you.
Wow. Damn. Okay. Wow. So now let me ask you this. Out of everything that you're doing, who inspires you and why?
That's a tough one.
It could be your mother, your father, your friends, your cousins, maybe other
Definitely
pro
my
boxers.
parents. Definitely my parents and my country, because from my city, there's not a lot of boxers who made it out. There's not, from Samarkand city, from Uzbekistan, there's not a lot of boxers who made it that far. So I want to be the first person to make it that far. Like there's a lot of supporters back in my city in Samarkand, in New York City. All my friends and family here, my parents support me really good. They're always on my side. So I want to do it for my people. I want to do it for my friends, for my family, and for my city.
So you had support. So you had a support system. You had your parents, your friends. They were all cheering. Obviously, me 10 years ago, I'm like, bro, we can make some serious money. But
My boy Cole is right here.
that's so. Hey, what's up, Jake here from Wake and Jake TV.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, you have a camp. You have a support system. How does loyalty affect boxing? You obviously need loyalty to your trainer. You cannot, like you mentioned to me before we recorded, this is not like MMA where you could just have 10 different trainers. You got to be loyal. Like, for example, the whole Mike Tyson and all that stuff. So how does loyalty affect what you're doing?
Well, loyalty is a thing where you have to stay consistent. You have to respect every trainer you're with, and you can't. It affects you. It affects you. You have to find the right people around you, like a trainer, a person who trains you, keeps you in shape. That's what it's about.
So let me ask you again. So how does loyalty affect what you do? Your boxing, your friends' loyalty, the people you spar with,
right?
your supporters, your family.
You have to stay loyal to your trainers, right? But if your trainers don't stay loyal to you, like let's say there's some trainers who just people or supporters, when you get one loss, especially in boxing, when you have one loss, people turn away from you. They say, oh, this guy sucks, this guy this.
Right.
So you have to have the right people around you, and you have to have a strong mentality. You can't let any of that affect you. You have to stay on the same boat, same goal, and continue without.
So let me ask you, how about during fight week? You probably got 30 things coming at you. how do you deal with you gotta basically tunnel vision yourself.
You have to stay away from all that. You have to stay away from all that. If you have a lot of thoughts, you can't. Me, what I do is I don't think a lot about anything before my fight. I just chill. I think about the weigh-ins right after the weigh-ins. I want to eat.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. And when it comes to I focus on the fight, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna fight soon. But as long as you put the hard work in, as long as you're trained, you're focused already. That's it. You can't think too much. Once the fight day comes, when you go and step into the ring, that's when you think. That's when you start thinking. That's when you do your job. So I don't really let anything affect me too much. I don't really think too much before a fight.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, when you went into your first pro fight, I would assume you have like fear, nervousness. You feel like, oh shit, like this is finally happening. So how does it feel when you first step into the ring on your first pro fight? How did it feel when you won? How did it feel? How did it feel when you were walking? How did it feel? Because obviously this is your first pro fight. You got all these heads looking at you. All your friends, your whole boxing career, all comes down to this moment. How do you condition yourself to not psych yourself out?
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Before I thought that I'm gonna be really nervous in the fight, let's say I was anticipating, like I was waiting for the nervousness, for the cloudy, you get cloudy and everything to come in and kick in. But one thing is, I prayed really hard. I prayed before my fight, and I asked God to give me, take out the fear and the nervousness out of my heart. And I don't know, man. Before a fight, I didn't feel nothing. When I was in the locker room, I thought I'm gonna get nervous, or I thought I'm gonna think way too much, but I didn't. I was so calm. I stepped out to the ring, right? I see everybody. I see my friends, and that just pumped me up more. Just get in there. I had my head clear, and everything was great.
And you could see in the fight, you were hyped. You were like, yo, this is light work. I'm about to embarrass this dude.
The thing is, I respect my opponents. Every opponent is respected. They come in to fight. It's a dangerous sport. You have to, it's a dangerous sport. Everybody's respected. Everybody should be respected. Every fighter, no matter what it is, because people see the fight, but they don't see the training behind that fight. You get what I'm saying?
Right. It's like they see, yo, that guy's brolic. They don't realize there's days where you're about to throw up on that treadmill.
It's like you could tell a fighter would lose, let's say, by points, and then they call him out. He sucks. They don't know the hard work he put in. They don't know what's going on in his mind or what happened in the training camp. It's a lot of things in boxing. That's why people should. I'm not saying just because I'm a fighter or athlete, but people should actually respect athletes and don't
understand that what they went through.
It's they get away from a lot of things. They leave life. They stay away from everything and just train and train. It's a lot of dedication.
So it becomes a lifestyle. It's not even a hobby. It's a lifestyle. You got to be about that life.
Yeah, you can't go out. You can't eat. You can't do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You have to stay disciplined. That's how it is.
But once you won the fight, you pop in a bottle, though.
Well, I can't. To be honest, I can't pop bottles. I want to go back to my family or just go eat with my friends. That's what I want. My friends could pop bottles, though.
That's solid, yo. People take notes. It's not all about you.
Yeah. That's what it is. My friends could pop bottles. I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna chill. That's it. I'm gonna pop a bottle for them, but I don't drink, though. That's the thing.
That's amazing. So you see that obviously there's discipline involved. You don't drink. You don't smoke.
It's not just that. I know athletes who drink and smoke after a fight and stuff like that, but me, I just don't like that. I don't like drinking. I don't like alcohol. I don't like smoking. It's just not my lifestyle. My body doesn't accept it.
Take notes, ladies and gents. I think a lot of us have to be a little bit more like Jonibek right here.
Yes, sir. Let's go, guys. Wake and Jake TV.
Yes.
Thank you so much, brother.
Yo, wait, before we go, I have one last question.
All right, let's go.
For anyone that's just viewing, listening, that don't know anything about you, say your name, where they can keep in touch with you, stay in touch with your progress, watch your next fight. Let us know.
All right, my name is Jonibek Khotamov. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was born and grew up until the age of 10 in Uzbekistan, Samarkand. You can follow me on Instagram, Real Jonibek, Real Jonibek, and keep up with my fights. I'm fighting December 18th in Newburgh, New York. So if you guys want to come out and support me, I would be really happy. I would appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You already know I'm gonna be there. When did you say December when?
December 18th.
December 18th, Newburgh, New York. Wait, didn't you make history? You were the first boxing fight in Newburgh, New York. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I was the first bout that was the first time I fought. So the first debut I made, I was the first fight. I opened up the show and finished it quick.
Double history. The first boxing match in Newburgh, New York, finished in 1 minute. Your boy.
Yes, sir. See you guys soon. Keep in touch. I don't know if that shit.
Catch you next time.